them he had completed, and most of them were for touchdowns. Go ahead for it, Cole.
Let's say Lamar Jackson keeps this up. He wins the Super Bowl this year. He wins the next Super Bowl. He wins the next Super Bowl. All of a sudden, he has 3 Super Bowl rings. People are saying this is the GOAT. But then there's always that one guy. There's always that one guy who says, oh, hold up. How many 5,000 passing yard seasons did Lamar Jackson have? Dude, he got the rings. What do you mean?
It's not, okay. First off, what? Secondly, it's not about, like, it can't be about rings because there's guys who both of us would call trash who have rings. Like, that's a settled thing. Also, nobody's going to declare anybody the GOAT after only 3 seasons. Give me a break. Like, you can't call somebody the greatest of all time when they've only played like 48 games. That's insane. But I guess you make a good point, but people like that are almost in a category of their own. Like, how do you compare Lamar Jackson with Tom Brady when their games are so different? You know, like, that's a hard thing to do. But I will say this, at the risk of nobody ever listening to our podcast ever again, for ethical reasons, my favorite quarterback of all time is Michael Vick. I love him. I love everything about him. If I had a football team, I'd bring him back out of retirement to be my starting quarterback. And it's not because he's got the stats. It's not because he wins games. It's because of his style. I like his style. I like how he can just take off down the field and nobody can catch him. I like that whole Lamar Jackson thing. I love that as like a fan of football. But that doesn't make somebody the greatest of all time.
To all our hearers, before we started the podcast today, Forrest said he had to go get his headphones, and me and Chris were horrified as he was talking to somebody in a manner at which I couldn't even comprehend. Luckily, I guess to Forrest, it was just a dog. Huh. I'll leave it at that.
See, now people are going to think I hate dogs. Thanks, man.
But it was actually his cat that he said he was going to find a new home for. So it's actually the cats that he hates. The dogs he just dislikes. No, I've seen Forrest interact with his dog. He doesn't hate his dog. He's not an animal abuser. We would not let him be on the podcast if he was. Please do not stop listening to our podcast. But go ahead, Forrest.
My wife wouldn't let me live if I was an animal abuser. So you have no worries.
That is absolutely truth. I mean, that is absolutely true. So no worries whatsoever. One of our old college roommates would not be friends with him if he was an animal abuser. Like, definitely has way too many animal lovers in his life to be an animal abuser. So no fears there. But did just get a little bit of a tone with his dog earlier, but all's forgiven. So what do you think, guys?